Hey, fourth graders. So today we are going to do Unit 1, Lesson 13, which is on page 31 of your book. We've been talking a lot about addition, subtraction, ungrouping, and now we're going to talk about some different kinds of word problems that you might encounter in a book or in life, right? And it's important to remember that you can use addition or subtraction to figure out like what kind of equation you need to set up in order to answer some of these questions. Not all word problems are like Bobby has 10 cats. If he gets 5 more, how many cats does he have now? Sometimes you're looking for one of the partners. Sometimes you're looking for the total. Um, sometimes the way it's worded can be a little bit confusing. So what we're going to practice today is setting up a math mountain when we're doing our word problems to figure out what component is missing, and then after we've identified that, going through and solving the problem with whichever operation makes the most sense. So let's see. Number one, this section says think of different types of problems for each exercise. Write an equation for the problem, then solve it. Number one is A plus 278 equals 747. And hopefully you're familiar with having letters in your math at this point. It's just a missing number. That's all it is. It's something standing in for a number that has not yet been found in this little problem. So here, we know the total of this is 747. We know that one of the partners is 278 and the other partner is what we're looking for. So in order to find that, we need to do 747 take away 200. Okay, now let's find that answer. 7 take away 8 is not going to work, so we have to ungroup. We look over to our tens, we leave 3 of those tens, and now we have 17 ones. 3 take away 7 is also not going to work, so we will we'll go over to our hundreds. We'll leave 6 of those hundreds, and now we have 13 tens. And then that should work, and then 6 take away 2 is fine. So 7 take away 8, or 17 take away 8 is 9. And 13 take away 7 is 6. And 6 take away 2 is 4. So our missing number was 9. Okay. For this one, we have our missing number that is actually the total. So how do you figure out the total if you have both of the partners or the add-ins? Well, you have to add those add-ins, and then you'll have the total. So let's go ahead and do that. 346 plus 587. 6 plus 7 is 13. 4 plus 8 is 12, plus 1 more is, again, 13. And then 300 plus 500 is 800, plus 1 more is 900. So our total is 900. And we're going to actually have that equal our b, and here we'll have this equal our. So we're getting a little comfortable using that sort of description in our math. So here we have another total. We're missing one of our partners. We have the other partner. What do we do for that? Well, you know that one partner plus the other partner is the total. If you have the total and you take away one of the partners, you'll be left with the other partner. So let's set up 933. That's looking familiar, right? We just did that, right? Minus 346. The same problem, isn't it? All right, 6 taken from 3. Will that work? No. So we go over to our tens place. We have 3 tens. We'll leave 2 of them. Then we have 13 take away 6. 2 take away 4, or 4 taken from 2. Will that work? No. So we'll leave 8 of our hundreds, and now we have 12 tens. So 13 take away 6 is 7. 12 take away 4 is 8. And 8 take away 3 is 5. So 500. Now, because last time these were the same problem, I peeked over here. Are you noticing anything about 747 and 469? Didn't we just do that? Yeah, we did. So I'm expecting that we're going to end up getting 278. So this, if you're not familiar, is called a comparison bar. And so in this scenario, it would fit perfectly with a word problem that was like, Tony has 747 candles. That amount is 469 more than what Caroline has. How many does Caroline, or maybe Erica, because it's an E, so how many does Erica have? Then you would have your total. You're going to subtract the difference number, and you'll be left with the smaller number in the comparison bar. So let's go ahead and do that. 747, take away 469, and then we will be left with our whatever's the smaller number. 7 take away 9 will not work, so we have to ungroup. We go over to our 4. We leave 3 of those 10s. Now we have 17 ones. 3 take away 6, or 6 taken from 3 will not work. We go over to our hundreds. We leave 6 of those hundreds, and now we have 13. This is, again, pretty similar to what we just had. 17 take away 9 is 8. 13 take away 6 is 7. And 600 take away 400 is 200. So 278 equals, and I forgot my equals E right there. Okay. So we're going to try to take these problems and set up math mountains or comparison bars if that's appropriate. And then we'll solve the problem just like we did here. So write an equation for the problem, then solve it. Make a math drawing if you need to. Of 800,000 species of insects, about 560,000 undergo complete metamorphosis. How many species do not undergo complete metamorphosis? So that is saying to me, of the total 800,000, there are the 560,000 that do undergo complete metamorphosis, and then there's the other ones, and I'll just put M for that because I don't know. Okay, so then how do we find that missing partner? We have to do what? Subtraction. So let's set up. And over here, 800,000 take away 560,000. 0 minus 0 is 0. Any way you slice it. 0 take away 6. Not gonna work. So we group. We'll leave 700,000, and then we'll have 10,000. So 10 take away 6 is 4, and 700,000 take away 500,000 is 200,000. So about 40,000 is to complete metamorphosis. And I almost misspelled metamorphosis, but then I looked at the spelling and I just copied it. And you could do the same thing too. All right, number 6, the Great Pyramid of Giza has about 2 million stone blocks. A replica, which is like a copy, has 1,900,000 fewer blocks. How many blocks are in the replica? So this is comparing, right? So we'll set up our comparison bar. And this is just a simple picture to help us figure out what we know and what we don't know yet. So there's the actual pyramid and the replica. What has more? The actual pyramid has more. It has the 2 mil. The replica, we don't know how many it has, but we know the difference, right? The 1.9 million fewer blocks. So 9 mil. So now we're looking to identify how many are in the replica, and we'll find that by taking the 2 million and subtracting the 1.9 million. So let's go ahead and do that. And what I just did there when I talked about 2 million and 1.9 million, that's a way that you'll often hear these extra large numbers described, because it can be kind of a mouthful to say 1,900,000, right? And usually, even if there's, like, and 72, if you're already in the millions, a lot of the time it doesn't matter that there's a 72. Like, that's not important, depending on what you're talking about, of course. So people will say like 2 whole millions or 1,000,009 or 1.9. That's just the way people say it. Okay. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and then 0 minus 9, not gonna work. So we have to unwork. And we take our 2 million, we'll leave 1 million, and then we'll have 10 100,000s. So 10 minus 9 is 1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So that is 1. So we'll say about 100,000 blocks. Okay. Last year, 439,508 people visited Funtown. This is 46,793 fewer visitors than this year. How many people visited Funtown this year? Okay, so I'm going to make bigger comparison bars this time, because last time it didn't really fit. All right, so when you're making comparison bars, you have to ask yourself, which group has more, this year or last year? If last year it was fewer, that means last year had less. So last year gets the little bar, and this year gets the big bar. Okay? So last year it was 439,508. We don't know how many it was this year, but we do know the difference, which was 46,730. And now what do we do with those two numbers to find this? We add them, right? It's kind of similar to a little math mountain, like that, right? So let's go ahead and line those up and add them. 439, 5, 8, plus, I almost wrote subtract, whoops. 739. And I'm being super careful to line up my place value, right? Because that's gonna mess you up if you don't do that carefully. Okay, 8 plus 9 is 17. 0 plus 3 is 3 plus 1 more is 4. 5 plus 7 is 12. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 6 is 15. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 1 more is 8, and then just the 4. Put my comma after 3 digits out. Oh, this year there were 486,247 people. Okay. Hopefully this is making sense for you. Let's go ahead and turn that page. The lesson today is a 2-pager, so, but each of these word problems is only like 4 on a page, so it's not too bad. Okay, at the end of a baseball game, there were 35,000 602 people in the stadium. There were 37,614 people in the stadium at the beginning of the game. How many people left before the game ended? So let's think about this for a moment. If we started with 37,000, some people stayed, some people left. The people who stayed and people who left are the partners, and the total is that 37,000. So we'll write that on top. And then we'll have our little mountain. And we'll have the people who left, we'll give them a cursive L. We usually, if we're going to use L as a variable, we'll do a cursive one so it doesn't look like a 1, because this is math, right? And if we just see a one little line, we'll think it's a 1. Okay. And then 35,002. So let's go ahead and set up our subtraction so we can find that missing partner. It's a little bit hard to fold. Okay, there we go. Okay, so 37. Take away 5. 2. 4 take away 2. Do we have to ungroup? No, we're fine, right? It's just 2. 1 take away 0. We have to ungroup? No, we don't. Nice. 600 take away 600. Any ungrouping there? 7 take away 5. Any ungrouping there? No. Oh, we lucked out this time. And 3 take away 3 is just 0. So that's nice. You can say L equals 2012. 2012 people left the game for it. Okay. This year, Pinnacle Publishing printed 64,924 more books than Premier Publishing. If Pinnacle printed 231,069 books, how many books did Premier print? So we're comparing two different groups. That tells us we should do comparison. And I'm going to call them Pin and Pre because I don't want to put P and P because then it's like which one's which, right? So Pinnacle and Premier. If Pinnacle printed more than Premier, who gets the big bar? Who did more? Pinnacle, right? And then Premier gets the other bar, cream. So they did 231,009, and the difference number is this 64,900. And if we add those up, we will find out how many Pinnacle printed. Wait a second. This year, Pinnacle printed more books than Premier. If Pinnacle, hang on a second, I think I did something wrong here. Pinnacle printed more than Premier. Oh. I put the 231 in the wrong box because I put Premier here. I'm glad I labeled this. But that's really how many Pinnacle did. So I'm going to try again. Really important to pay attention. Never know. So Pinnacle still gets the big bar. Premier gets the little bar. But rather than adding those, we're going to have to do something else now, aren't we? So we have our 64,904. Still is the difference. Pinnacle, though, printed 200. 231,069. That changes things. What do we need to do here? We're going to have to subtract. Imagine if we added, then we'd have the wrong number. So let's go ahead and do that. 231,069 minus 64,924. Okay. 9 take away 4 is 5. 6 take away 2 is 4. 0 take away 9 will not work, so we will ungroup. We'll leave 0 thousands. Now we have 10 hundreds. 10 take away 9 is just 1. 0 thousands take away 4 will not work, so we will leave 2 10,000s, and now we have 10,000. 10 take away 4 is 6. 2 take away 6 will not work, so we will take one of our 100,000s, leaving the other. Now we have 12 take away 6, which is 6, and 100,000. So Premier printed 166,145 books. Okay. Whew, we did it, you guys. They almost got us, but not today. Mary drove her car 2,483 miles during a road trip. Now she has 86,445 miles in her car. How many miles did her car have before her trip? So now it has 86,000. She already had some. Has 86. She already had some. And then she added in that 2,000. So we're going to have to set up a little math mountain. 6,405. There's the 4 number of miles, and then there's the 2,403 miles from her trip. To find that B, we're gonna have to do what? Subtract. So let's do that. 86 4, 5. Take away 2,400. 5 take away 3 is 2. 4 take away 8 is not gonna work. We're gonna group. Come over here. We got 3. Now we got 14. 14 take away 8 is just 6. And then 3 take away 4, also not going to work. So ungroup. 13 take away 4 is 9. 5 take away 2 is 3, and 80,000. So she had 83,962 miles. Okay. The Elbe River in Europe is 1,070 kilometers long. The Yellow River in China is 5,465 kilometers long. How long are the two rivers all together? So it's looking for total river length, right? If you were to somehow connect them and then see how long something could travel between the two. Which means we're looking for a total, and we have our 1,170, and we have our 5,405, and we're looking for this T for total. What do we do to get that T? We need to add those numbers up, right? So let's go ahead and do that. N plus 5, 4, 5. Now, would it have mattered if I had written the 5,000 on top? Not for this one, right? Because it's addition. There's the commutative property. It could go either one first because you're just adding them up. 0 plus 5 is 5. 7 plus 6 is 13. 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 1 more is 6. And then 1 plus 5 is 6. So 6,600 35 kilometers altogether, or total. Okay. A bridge is 1,595 feet long. Each cable holding up the bridge is 1,983 feet longer than the bridge itself. How long is each cable? Longer is a comparative. It is saying that the cable is not just 1,900 feet. It's this length and that additional difference. So we could even make a comparison bar to make it very clear. So there's the bridge and there's the cable. We know that the cable is bigger, so the cable gets the big bar and the bridge gets the little bar. We know the bridge is 1,595, and we know the cables are 1,903. So to find that number on top, we have to add these two together. So let's go ahead and do that now. 1,585 plus 1,983. 5 plus 3 is 8. 9 plus 8 is 17. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 5 more is 15. So 3. So 3,578. All right. Go on to the next page. We are continuing with this one. Subtraction and money. Sandra had $140 to spend on new clothes for school. She bought a shirt for $21. She had a total of $140. She bought a shirt for $21. You can use a model to help you find out how much money she has left. So she started with, this is kind of like, you can almost imagine like $100 and then 4, 10, 6, right? That's like kind of what we have here because it's a $100 bill and then 4 $10 bills. So if she was trying to do that, she would have had to spend in 21. First, get rid of the 2 10s for $20. And then this group of 10 is going to have to be broken up into 10 1s. So we'll cross it out. Then she'll have spent one of those, which leaves us with 100, 110, and 9 1s, right? 100, 110, 9 1s, $119. That's pretty cool how we could just use it like that. Okay. Now, if you have money available to sort of look at, you can ask your parents if they want to let you do that. Or you can always just draw a picture, right? That's what we have those pictures for when you don't have the physical objects. Jason had $30. He gave 18 to his brother. How much money does he have left? Well, that's 30, take away 18. Just because there's the dollar sign, all the rules don't go away. 0 take away 8 is not gonna work, so we have to ungroup. And then we have 10 take away 8, and that is 2. 2 take away 1 is 1, so $12 left. How nice of Jason. Ilana's coach had some money, do we know how much? Not yet, to spend on softball equipment. She spent $76 on bases. She had $174 left. How much did she have to start? So if she had this much left and this much that she spent, then if we put them together, we will find the total. So we should add those up. 4 plus 6 is 10. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 1 more is 15, and then 100 plus 100 is 200. So she had $250 to And I know it's kind of weird because it seems like we should be saying dollars 250, but we say the number first and then we say the currency. So we're talking about US dollars. Other countries have the word dollars as the name of their currency, but sometimes you'll hear like yen or pesos or something else. So but we always put a symbol usually in the beginning. I think most countries do. Okay, the school science club raised $325. After buying equipment for an experiment, they had $168 left. How much did they spend? So they had the total of $325. They spent some and they kept some. So if we have that $325 take away the stuff they spent, then we'll be left with the amount that take away the amount they had left, then we'll be left with the number they spent. So 325 take away 168. 5 take away 8, or 5 subtracting 8 is not going to work, so we have to ungroup. We will take one of those tens, leaving 1. Now we have 15 take away 8. 1 minus 6 also will not work, so we'll take one of our hundreds, and now we have 11 tens, and then, leave 2 of those hundreds, so we can't just be crazy like that. 15 take away 8 is 7. 11 take away 6 is 5. And 200 take away 1 is 1. So they spent $157. Amy paid $575 for new furniture. Before buying it, she had $813. How much did she have after? So she began with that amount of money, she spent some, and she kept some. If we take the number she began with, subtract what she spent, we'll be left with what she still has. So let's go ahead and 813 minus 575. 3 minus 5 works. We have a group. And then we got 13 minus 5. 0 minus 7, also not okay. Leave 700s. Now we have 10 tens. Okay, 13 take away 5 is 8. 10 take away 7 is 3. And 7 take away 5 is 2. So she has 238 left. Okay, turn that page. This says solve each problem and check your answers using inverse operations. Inverse operations, that's just hinting that, like, you know how addition undoes subtraction, subtraction undoes addition. So you'll solve it and then you'll check it by doing the opposite, just to practice that skill. Mrs. Washington has $265. She wants to buy shoes for $67 and dresses for $184. Does she have enough money? Explain your answer. Ooh, I can see they're tricking you a little bit. Or they're trying to, but they're not going to get us. So, if she wants to buy shoes and dresses, she's trying to spend $67 and $184. She wants to know if that's enough money. So what we'll do is we will add 184 and 67. And if that is a smaller number than 265, then she has enough money. If it's a bigger number, what does that mean? It means that she doesn't have enough money, right? She's trying to spend more than what she has. So let's go ahead and add those up. 184 plus 67. 4 plus 7 is 11. 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 1 more is 15. And 100 plus 100 is 200. So she's trying to spend $251. Is that less than 265? Yes, she does have enough money. She only needs 250. And this is assuming, of course, that there's no like sales tax or anything like that, which there usually is then. Okay, so let's check it by doing the opposite. So let's take our 251. We'll subtract one of our partners. Let's take away the 67. 7 take away, 1 take away 7 will not work. 4, we'll have 11. 4 take away 6 will not work, so we'll leave one of our hundreds, and then we'll have 14. 11 take away 7 is 4. 14 take away 6 is 8, and 1 take away nothing is 1. So yes, it's checked. Good job. Terrell wants to run a total of 105 miles during this month. He ran a total of 87 miles during the first 3 weeks of the month. Good job, Terrell. How much does he have to run in the 4th week to make his goal? So his goal is 105. He's already done some, and he has some amount left to do. So we'll take our 105, subtract that 87. 5 take away 7 is not going to work. In groups, we'll leave 0 hundreds, then we'll have 10 tens. We'll leave 9 of those 10s, drop them off there, and now we have 15 ones. So 15 take away 7 is 8. 9 take away 8 is 1. So he only has 18 miles to go. And just to double check that, if we take our 18 and we add that to 87, we should get his goal of 105. So 8 plus 7 is 15. And then 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 8 more is 10. 105. Checked. Good job. All right. To round out this lesson, we have a little puzzle penguin for us. Let's see. Dear math students, my friend is taking a trip to Antarctica. It's a penguin, get it, right? He gave me $112 to buy him some clothes. I tried to buy a parka and 2 pairs of wool socks. But the clerk says I didn't have enough money. I added up the cost like this. 98 plus 12 is 110. And he had 112. Can you help me figure out what I did wrong? So let's look. So we wanted to buy a parka. A parka is $98. And 2 pairs of socks. So 1 pair is 12. And the other pair is also 12. I think I see the problem. He tried to only buy 1 pair, right? So we're going to say, sorry, buddy. You only have enough to buy 1 pair of socks. That's a bummer, because normally it's nice to be able to switch out your socks if they're like really cold and wet, which they might be in the snow. Okay, that's it for today, you guys. Check and see if you have an assignment, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.